Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with the next review of the Terror in the Aisles challenge. This time, Jason and I watched The Funhouse. Pay to get in, pray to get out. The Funhouse is a 1981 horror film directed by Tobe Hooper. Scenes from this movie appear in the TV cut of Terror in the Aisles. In fact, there is more footage from the Funhouse than any other replacement film in the television cut. Terror in the Aisles features the shower scene, the death of the fortune teller, and the cog scene at the climax of the film. The Funhouse has maybe the best carnival setting of any movie ever. It's just so authentic. The sights, the sounds, you can almost feel like you can smell the scenery as well. The opening credits establish the atmosphere. They set the mood instantly. Teenager Amy Harper is going on a first date with Buzz Dawson. Her friends Liz and Richie will be joining them as a double date. Amy's father warns her not to go to the carnival, since the bodies of two girls were found nearby. But when Amy tells Buzz she wishes to obey her father's request, he convinces her otherwise. And so the four teens head to the carnival. Even the parking situation is authentic there. It just seems so real. Almost the entire first half of the film is just Amy and her friends enjoying the carnival. They check out an animal freak show. They watch a magician perform. They explore the Midway. And they even see a fortune teller. Of course, they also enter the Funhouse. The four teens, for some reason, decide it will be fun to spend the night. They'll hide out in the Funhouse until the carnival closes and everyone goes home. But when they witness a murder by a masked killer, it takes the fun right out of Funhouse. Now, Amy and her friends are trapped inside the Funhouse with the killer. Meanwhile, Amy's younger brother Joey has followed her to the carnival. She has no idea he's been looking for her all night. But who will find Amy first? Joey or the killer in The Funhouse? The Funhouse has the perfect Funhouse setting. It's creepy and nostalgic. It's the type of carnival attraction we've all experienced at some point in our lives. Along with the rest of the carnival, a slasher movie setting can't get any better than this. Amy is played by Elizabeth Berridge in her first feature film role. I had the biggest crush on her when I was young. That had a lot to do with the opening shower scene, where she basically flashes the camera. As I mentioned, that scene, while edited for content, is featured in the television cut of Terror in the Aisles. It's a classic opening scene, combining Halloween and Psycho. When a movie opens with gratuitous nudity, you know you're off to a good start. Then, later in the film, we are blessed with more. Elizabeth Berridge was definitely a trooper in her first role. What an introduction to the actress. I like the storyline of Joey following her to the carnival. He's the typical younger brother, and it's the typical sibling relationship. And Elizabeth Berridge as Amy really is adorable. As if the scenery at the carnival isn't awesome enough, it is filled with bizarre characters as well. Kevin Conway plays multiple carnival barkers. The killer in the Funhouse is definitely intimidating. I won't spoil anything about that though, in case you haven't seen the Funhouse. Speaking of that, this might actually be a film that a lot of people haven't seen, or at least don't remember seeing. I feel like the Funhouse is one of those movies people caught back in the 80s or 90s, and they remember certain scenes from it, but don't actually remember what the movie was. That's just been my experience with it when talking to other horror fans. Many seem to specifically remember the scenes featured in Terror in the Aisles, and that's probably why. The Funhouse for me, though, has always been a favorite. I love this movie. If I'm being honest, as much as I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I would say The Funhouse is my favorite Tobe Hooper film. It's just a movie I have so much fun watching for the nostalgia, the setting, the characters, and the fact that it's a slasher at a carnival. This, in my opinion, is probably Tobe Hooper's most underrated film. This is the original VHS release, by the way, with the MCA rainbow logo on the bottom, and it says stereo, just like the Halloween 2 VHS from that time. This VHS tape also has this awesome cover art. This just screamed rent me in the video store days. So I did. Again and again and again. I also think it's really cool that so much of it is featured in Terror in the Aisles, even if it's only the TV cut. My relatable recommendation is Dark Ride. Dark Ride is a 2006 horror film that was released as part of the After Dark Horror Fest, and it's one of the 8 films to die for. I actually saw Dark Ride in theaters during the Horror Fest that weekend. At the time, I instantly spotted the similarities between this and The Funhouse, but I had no idea that it was intended to be a remake. It's a loose remake, but it's definitely a remake. A group of friends spend the night in a dark ride. They're not alone, though. A masked killer is there, too, picking them off one by one. Dark Ride stars mezzo-soprano herself, Jamie Lynn Sigler. It's the setting, though, that's the huge draw for Dark Ride. Just like The Funhouse. Have you seen it? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And please be sure to check out Jason's review. The fun has just begun. We have plenty of films left to watch in the Terror in the Aisles challenge. What will we review next? Check back soon to find out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.